Howdy ho, everyone, and thank you, Angel. Oh, where are we? Sorry, I just lost my control panel. You can see I'm driving this thing really, really well. Interesting. Stand by, guys. I am here. Just got no idea what I'm doing, as usual. Let me try again. I think that worked that time. How you doing? Good to have you on board for this Tuesday, the 20th of July in the year 2021. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Let's see if I can actually share my screen. And no, it doesn't want to do that. Goodness gracious, Ignatius. There we go. That's better. Only driving lessons, right? Yep, you got it. Righto, I'm going to start with pound US dollar as always, and you guys can totally see that we've hit our target on Monday's trade, which was a breakout trade, and that is the target there. Now, I haven't taken that profit off the table yet. I haven't banked it. I'm just going to go through it in a tick, but first up, are we in a range? Are we going to trade the range breakout today? No, we've had a pretty good set of moves overnight, I've got to say, and we need to manage some trades, I think. So I'm going to leave pound US dollar for now in terms of the breakout trade. It's already broken out, of course, and that's the hourly chart. So I don't expect that we're going to get a second breakout to the high side, but anything could happen, of course, but that is not what we're here to do. So what we need to do is analyze whether this is going any further. We are at a support level, of course, been support through here, resistance through here, and a whole bunch of ranges there through the end of last year and the beginning of this. Come off the top of the range, which is pretty clear double top. We spoke about that. We spoke about the lower highs and lows, and we've spoken about the fact that this was the target area. Target area, why? Not because of support and resistance, but the analysis that Ash and I did some months ago, a couple of months ago now, I think it was, which suggested that our best breakout sweet spot was at 2.5 to 1 risk. So that's exactly what that target was all about, and it has now reached that target. So what we should do is just get out of the trade, right? Stop and reassess. I'm a little bit hesitant to do that because this is probably another area that we've closed below that's interesting, but there's the real, I think the real, anyway, support and resistance area. It could well be a bit lower down here somewhere. I can certainly make a case for that. So it's tempting to leave that open until it gets down there, but they're not the rules. So we're going to close this. And, well, you can do one of two things, really. You could close it, or you could risk, 59 pips versus 200. So you can be risking a little bit more than a quarter of the trade by moving your stop down to here. I'm kind of inclined to do that. It is against the rules. The rules say 2.5 to 1. But I think there's a chance here that this can go a lot further. Now, so we're risking a quarter of our stake by bringing our stops down to here. I think I'm okay with that. So let's do that. We'll actually move it to that open there. 137.025 it is. So I'll go 137.05 to allow for the spreads. That will be the new stop loss on that one. 137.05. Now, there's no, I don't expect that you guys will be celebrating on that because this is just completely test mode. As I continue to say, don't want you to risk any real money on these trades. But there's nothing there today. We've already had a breakout, so we'll move on. If I'm a pound trader today, then I'm probably waiting for, I don't know what, to be honest. I think it would have to come back and retest that level. So let's get rid of that take profit mark that level there is probably it. So I'd probably looking for a retest of that level. It doesn't look like it's going to happen at this stage, but anything could and ultimately does happen. So we'll leave pound US dollar for now and move on. Now, I did say we had some positive moves in our direction yesterday, and that's certainly the case on euro yen. And we are now just on 10 times risk that we took. We traded this little bar here, recall. Look, again, you've got to be realistic here and think, okay, where's our target area? And our target area for me is.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, mate, you got a trade?
Yes, the FTSE 100 long. Let's see what we got here. See if I can get you guys straight in. Oh, gosh. It's a FTSE 100 long now. What's going on here? Hold on. I've had to come on prematurely because it might move. It might move quite quickly. In fact, it is on the move. Let me just bring up Zoom. I don't like trading these breakouts, but it is it's one of those that you just have to take, I think. Now let me make sure that I'm in Zoom here on the other one. There we go. There we go. Now I think that there's a pretty good target. There we go, right, okay, got that. Share screen, and we're using screen 2, share, there we go. Right, so FTSE 100 long now, as you can see, actually, you may well get an opportunity here, but market's opened up pretty hot. There is definitely a level of resistance here, and trading right into that may not be everybody's flavor, but I think we go through this, and I think we go through it sort of like quite considerably. This is the first level here. It's not very far away, around about 17 pips, but the upper level's around about, it's about 40 pips away. So I'm sort of looking for what would be a retracement. Now, I don't like to counter trend trade, and we are in kind of counter trend trade scenario, but with the FTSE sort of like more of a upside kind of situation than downside. You know, it's one of those sort of assets that will tend to go higher. I think this is probably in pretty good shape to get through these levels. It's just whether you aim for that target or that target, whether you want to sort of have a look at taking some profit. What may well happen if the chart was to kind of react in its natural way, if you like, we would have this. Hey, Lewis, just going to bring up, that's that there. I'm just going to make sure that I can see you guys in your chat. Ah, right, there we go. So what we'd be after possibly happening is the FTSE popping up to this level and then possibly retracing. So you could get in here, and many people might prefer that. You know, obviously, kind of like looking at something like that may well be more desirable, because that way you might well get a signal to kind of like take it back to the upside. Now, really, my first contact kind of strategy means that I really need to get out here, and it would be probably remiss of me not to follow the rules, even though I think that there's that upper line up at this point here. But I'll have a look there and see what the situation is, to see whether there's a you know, it's better to come out at this point, or whether I think it might go straight through. But let's just have a look at some of the longer term time frames, because it's only a 15-minute contact. Now you can see here on the hourly, this is why I like this point here. You know, that there's every chance that it does fail here initially. You know, it does start to come back here. And it might even be the situation that we close the first trade, see if it does come back, and then see if we can get another bounce up to that point. But I think that's a pretty good target. Now, that target is going to look slightly different on your charts because you're trading the cash, but we're looking at around about, looks like around about a 40 pip gain from this particular point. When it comes down to stops, you're probably going to need to have your own counsel with stops. But the reason I've got in here is you can't see it on this chart, but if I bring this up, you can see here that we've got this pivot. So I'm really using the pivot as a potential support level. So stops under that point would probably be all right for everybody. I'm not using leverage, so I don't mind if it goes lower here. No, I haven't got a problem with it at all. I'm going to hold on to this one. And if it does break down, I'll build into the position and just change my stance. So effectively, I've got two ways of approaching the market. I will try and get the money early. We made money yesterday, by the way, mate. It was a profitable trade in the end.
Awesome, mate.
As long as people were on top of it, I know that we had our soft targets and it didn't hit the soft target, but what we did get was this here. I think this was the point that we were trading yesterday, and it came up to just below the target. It was about 10 pips below target, but remember, we're going for first contact, and if we see any signs of danger, we just get out. So it was a profitable trade yesterday. Did make us some money, and now we're trying to do the same effectively today. So stops probably be under that point. As I say, I will switch my strategy if I don't get the profit out of this particular trade. Then what I will do is I will hold on and just change my time frame and look for this as a potential point to come back to eventually. John, did you get into who got into the trade yesterday? Who got into the trade yesterday? I just want to know how you guys did. And if you didn't make money, we need to kind of like discuss soft targets. Maybe nobody got in yesterday. Okay. All right. It doesn't matter then. So, well, this, no problem, mate. No problem. Well, it's always good to take to trade your own way. That is really key. So let's see if we make any money out of this one anyway. We'll see how we get on with it. But I like it. I like the look of it, and I like the look of it over the longer term. If it doesn't work out on the shorter term, we can't all. Oh, you were in. Great. Did you make money out of it, Lewis? Did you close when it popped up? Really important to sort of like understand that this is a first contact strategy. So it really is scalping. We're trying to get in and out. So if there's money in the bank, we've got to take what's on offer, not what we necessarily want. So always kind of have that in mind. Yeah, this is the trade this morning anyway, mate. So we are long the FTSE, and we are looking for around about 40 pips from here. It may well be a little bit more shallow than that, but I quite like the look of that. I mean, what's that? There's the weekly support level. It might be somewhere between it. But again, if we get enough room to the upside, then we're going to use this level here as our soft target. Which on your chart should look like this. It'll look like that on your target, on yours. So 69.26 on yours would be the soft target, but it might be somewhere around here. And there's likely to be a problem somewhere around here on the 15 as well. So there we go, mate. There's the wrap.
Awesome, nice, John. You found an entry on our euro US dollar. Awesome. That was looking likely, wasn't it, that it was going to go up to there? Interesting. I'm glad you got it. That looks to be on its way too, mate. That's looking interesting.
Looking good so far, isn't it?
Okay, let's go back to where I was, because I've got a little bit of trade management to do. We need to get some money, more money in the bank. So let's do that. We hit our 2.5 to 1 on the pound breakout trade from, was that Monday?
Oh,
or was it last night?
Nice.
I can't remember when that was. What's today? Tuesday, right?
Today's Tuesday, yeah.
Well, it must have been yesterday. Can't have been. Can it?
Yeah. Why not?
We didn't get 2.5 to 1 in a day. No, we've been in this for ages. We've been in this since up here somewhere. So yeah, anyway, it hit target. So sorry, that's you, Ray. It hit target. In fact, it's gone through target fairly. Oh no, I moved the target, didn't I? Now, I'm not talking about the pound. I was talking about euro yen because we've banked on the pound. We've moved our stop loss. Euro yen, as we know, we're kind of around about the 10 times risk area on euro yen. The thing we have to ask ourselves now is, where are we? What's our target? Do we need to bank some money here, or do we need to give it some more room or enough room? I thought that was the target area down there, but I think time's going to beat us to get there unless this absolutely shoots down there today. Now, this in its entirety is a little bit confusing because eventually I think this is going to go long again. But when is the question, and market sentiment's got a whole lot to do with that. But the thing here is, on the weekly chart, I still see this double bottom. I still see higher highs and lows. They're still coming. And really, this is the point right now where I'm asking the question, is this retracement big enough for the market to go north again? I don't see it. I see this level here as that 127 mark. So there's still plenty of pips left in this to put in the bank, in my opinion. The trick is, do we risk what we have right now to get that? And the answer for me is always going to be, well, okay, what's the reward to the risk? So the reward, if we didn't close the trade now, the reward or the risk is going to be 175 pips out of what, 450 or something, versus the reward of bingo. It's exactly the same. So it's 1-to-1, the risk to reward here. So we either get out and take that, bank that 175 pips, or we wait for the next 175 pips and then bank. So what's the market telling? Oh, sorry, what's the chart telling me? The chart's telling me that makes sense. Where's the stop loss got to be? Are we in phase 2? And are we expecting a retracement on phase 2? Well, if phase 1 means anything, it was 359 pips. Phase 2 is currently, you wouldn't believe it, would you? 359 pips. Bang, spot on. Pull a fib on it if you want. Pull it from there, pull it from there, pull it from there, pull it from wherever you want to. That's kind of the calculation that's going on in my head. Do I now just bank what we've got and miss out on that 175 pips? Or do we just trail it a little tighter, maybe on the daily chart, where we're going to bank another 50 odd pips for the sake of 115, to about half? We're going to risk half by moving our stop loss there. I think that's what I want to do, because this could easily retrace based on the fact that I'm still bullish, and so is the chart still bullish. This could go long, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Going to move my stop loss above yesterday's candle. And I'm going to do that with quite a few of these, I think, because we have had a pretty damn good ride. And I think it's time just to be a little bit on the cautious side. So 130.03 is going to be where I put my stop loss. Uh, 130.03. Just banking a little bit more and trailing that stop loss. That's euro yen. Aussie dollar. Again, we got another good result yesterday on Aussie dollar. More money in the bank. Do we bank? Again, is the question. I won't go through all of these in that detail, but you can see where I'm coming from, I hope. There's the support level that is really interesting to me, because if today's bar were to close below that level, then I think we've got some more money down to here, because that really is my first or my next target area. down around the 70 cent mark, which is, another 330 pips away. Does that make sense to give it that much space, or do we move? Well, we've pretty much got our stop loss above last week's bar. Do we now move it down to above yesterday's candle, expecting that if we do get a retracement, we don't take out the stop loss? If we get a reversal, then we go back into bullish territory. I think this level that we're currently testing is going to be the answer to that question. But again, if we get a close below that, I think we're back to here, down to 70. I just can't quite, what's the word I'm trying to consolidate that in my mind, that we're going to 70 cents, because the Aussie really doesn't deserve to be at 70 cents against the US dollar, in my humble opinion. So, yeah, I've got to make a decision here, and I think the decision is just to bank some more money, frankly, and follow it down. So we're going to bank a little bit more here. In fact, we're going to bank a chunk more. We're 140 odd pips to the good at the moment. I think our risk was that candle there from memory, about 30 odd pips. I can't quite recall. So 140, we're going to bank another 120 out of a possible 170 something. So I think that's what I want to do, and just keep moving these stops down and keeping them tight. The high of that bar is 74.06. So 74.11 is going to be where I move my stop loss to. 74.11. That's banking another 129 pips on that trade. That's Aussie dollar. All right, as I said, I won't go through all of these in that detail. Euro Swissy, again, another good day yesterday. We're challenging the lows here, but potentially we've got a higher low in play here on the daily chart. Weekly is telling me that we're through that level. And remember, yesterday we spoke about this candle, and the market would see it and potentially buy off it. Didn't really happen yesterday. In fact, it didn't happen at all yesterday. But what's being created now is an inside bar based on that key reversal bar. If that closes inside this one, then I think I would actually like to buy that bar. What do I do in terms of changing my stop loss? Well, on this one, nothing. I'm happy to leave it exactly where it is. It makes sense to me to leave it where it is. We've got a support level here that's going to provide resistance of some kind, I would think. And if we do get above here, I'm going to change my allegiance to the bulls anyway. So, and the reason for that is the bigger time frame is telling me that we're still above that trend line if this does retrace, and therefore we should see high, low, blah, blah, blah. We should see more highs. So that's the basis on which I'm going to leave it where it is. I'm going to give that enough space. If they do start buying, then they're going to buy, and I'll change allegiance to the high side. Pound Kiwi, we don't need to do a thing. We're still just out of the money here. I am expecting that at some stage to take off. May not be this week, given that we've got a key reversal bar. We may indeed come down to this breakout level again and stay within that range. I think that's about the only homework we need to do, mates. Everything else seems to be looking after itself, and they are the trades that we're currently in. Pound we've done, Euro Yen we've done, Euro Swiss we've done, Aussie dollar we've done, and Pound Kiwi is the only one in drawdown at the moment, but only slightly. So all is well in the charts. Euro dollar today.
What's that, mate?
I was just going to say euro dollar today. I haven't really got a firm opinion on it. Yesterday, we got the analysis 100% right. We got that big rally, which went straight back to the 118 mark, a little bit above it, in fact, and then shot back straight underneath it. Today, I don't know where the daily pivot is. Let me have a look at the euro. I must update these bloody templates. Daily pivot is at 117.94. which is just above where we are. I'll put that in round about there. And we have indeed been tossed off it, potentially retested it. Haven't really got a firm opinion on this one, mate, today, so I'll have a further look at it during Shukri, and if I've got anything to say, I'll certainly let you know. But at this point in time, haven't really got a firm opinion on it.
Okay. Just on the FTSE trade, I've had to close my mine. It profit, and we've made money on this, but I'm closing here, and the reason is, I will come back to the chart, mate, if you don't mind.
No, by all means. Hi, SF, by the way, forgot to say hi, and to everyone else who said hi as well.
I think there's potentially more money in this, but my issue is that my strategy is about first contact. So it's breaking my rules if I leave this on the market. So I've got to come out and remember, everything's about a basket of trades. Yes, you can sort of you can adapt your approach. There's no two ways about that. But I'm not prepared to do that. I think I like to make my money early, so I've taken it off because this you can see that these resistance sort of monthly resistance and weekly resistance areas are here. We see this bar here on the 5-minute chart, and it's just showing me that there is resistance. So if I'm coming out of first contact, I've got to come out here. But in saying that, I do believe that this is a decent level. So everybody must do what they will. If you're trading my strategy, you've got to close your trade. If you want to adapt, to sort of now you've got a good entry, you want to adapt and take over the management, then there is I think there's a little bit more out of this market that could be achieved. And as I say, I think that there's probably another 15 pips. Certainly from where I've come out, there's another 15 pips I think on offer. And doesn't sound like a lot, but remember, we're not aiming for a lot in the first place. So it actually could almost be another 50% of the trades that could be made money out of. So do what you will with it, but that's just for complete transparency. That's what I've done because, as I say, it's about first contact. That first contact did show some resistance, so I've come out of the trade there.
Mate, I'm so glad you're trading these short-term time frames because this is what I do day in, day out when I'm trading full time. Exactly what you're doing now, and that first contact point, whilst it seems to some people when it often goes through it and maybe even on and up goes to the moon, it's not always, in fact, it's not often the case, and that's 100% why I've always done what I've done. First, in my point, it's first resistance, but in yours, it's first contact. It's the same thing at the end of the day, and I think if you are going to trade small time frames, what I call small time frames, 30-minute, 15-minute. Not that I trade 15s. I think that's an intraday golden rule. If you are going to trade those charts, you must respect, even if you don't take the lot off, take 75% or 80% off or something like that. If you really want to see it, that potential reward that really is fool's gold, in my humble opinion, because it doesn't happen that often. Yeah, well, that you make money out of it.
It's an interesting one. Lewis is saying it's heading to weekly support in the support level. It might become resistance. That's what I did last night. Had a target.
Yeah, perfect, John.
Took it. Brilliant, John. And that to me is discipline, and that really, and I think the point you make is right, mate. In as much that if you have your rules, when you start bending and breaking them because I don't know, for whatever reason, then ultimately your strategy is compromised, and all the work that you've done to kind of get to the point where you've tested something starts to go out the window a little bit.
Unravel.
It starts to unravel and it negates it. So I don't really want to do that.
You start to doubt yourself. You start to doubt the strategy.
This is the thing, mate. And you know what? One of the most valuable things that I've found over my years of trading is headspace. And the problem is when you take away your rules and your approach, then what you are now starting to create is head congestion rather than head space, and it's just not the way I want to live my life. I mean, forget the charts, forget, you know, they are interwoven, but it's not the way that I want to exist. What I want to do is get my money, get it out, and then really go and enjoy my day. And whether that's going to be maybe some more research at some point during the day, which I can choose to do whenever, or whether it's to do with, you know, maybe playing some piano or whatever, going for a walk on the beach, whatever it is. But I want to enjoy my day now. And the caveat to it, and one of the reasons that I'm not doing this yet, is that I haven't fully tested it because there hasn't been enough moments that this has happened. But the caveat to it is when you get the volatility that we saw, and this is what we saw yesterday, provided a great opportunity to trade, because one of two things is likely to happen. There is a third thing that could happen, but one of two things is likely to happen. Either we pop up, get a dead cat bounce, or we just crash straight down. You know, we go down, But the likelihood is, because there's been volatility, there is going to be a reaction. So for every what's the term? For every action there is a
Newton's law. Yes, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Right. So yesterday we saw the action, and the action was a collapse. You know, you can see it by the daily pivot. You know what happened to the price action yesterday. So we know when we wake up today that there's an opportunity. Now that opportunity, as I say, if it's quite bullish, is likely to take us here, possibly here. Who knows where it goes from this point? But it is a different approach, and it's something that I haven't yet tested. I haven't really done that. What I've tested is first contact, and I like it. And the reason that I like it is that my main skill is finding the entry. When it comes down to the exit points, that's where I've always found it more challenging. But if you come out of first contact, there's no challenge. There's no challenge, is there? You just just take it the first time you see it, you know. So totally. I've kind of just started to negate that and then just go. But if I'm good at finding entries, then I'll find another one tomorrow, even if I take it early. So or the next day, or you know. So that's why I like this thing of just sort of like coming out whenever I see a sign and signal that it might be just turning back on me a little bit, because now
completely. Sorry, you go.
I was going to say, now we might be in a different phase. You know, phase one, if you like, is the move to the upside. Phase two is the move back again, and phase three is the move back to the upside. I want to get phase one and be done. You know, that's the whole kind of premise of this. But you know, for many, when I say phase one, I want to get on a trend and play the extent of that particular move and then close the trade. Rather than, you know, this would be a phase one, if you like. This would be a phase one, if you like. That's the way I'm seeing it. Not as in phase 1, 2, 3. If I think 1, 2, and then I'm going back into a phase 1, 2. So I'm almost playing an A, B, A, B, A, B rather than an A, B, C, if you like. So I just want the A move and then be done by the time the B move is coming in. This may not come back. It may continue to the upside. As I say, it is hot. The market does look hot. And it looks like there is a chance that we actually pop all the way up to these areas here. You know, we've had a decent action. Now we get the reaction, but this line actually looks pretty good for some resistance actually. So we're not too far away from that point.
A couple of things David's brought up.
Yes, I was just about to read that, mate. Yeah, so
yeah.
David's just written, my trading is all right, but sometimes when I get to the charts, I forget some basics and then I start getting confused. How do I draw support and resistance on higher time frames to trade the 1 hour? How do I use structure to form a bias, and how much candles should I zoom to find structure? Well, I mean, you're a structure man, mate.
Can I tackle the first one first?
Yeah. Let's have a look at it. You want to take the charts?
I don't need charts for this. You forget some basics, and then I start getting confused. Righto, here's the thing, David, with that. You need to have a system, a strategy, a method of getting into the market, number one, managing all of that, number two, exit points, number three. But there's a whole set of things. I've got 7 points that I need to consider before I actually take a trade, right? That's in there now because I've been doing it for so long. But if you haven't got that particular advantage, I'll call it, going for you at the moment, you're relying on what's up there, you need to change that. You need to have what everyone would call a cheat sheet. Now you need to have those rules for that particular system of trading, whatever it may be. If you're trading end of day on a daily wave rider strategy, if you're trading intraday on an ash strategy or a slingshot strategy or whatever the case may be, you need to have those set of rules. Not just there, great there in the long run, but in the initial stages, you need to have a cheat sheet. So if there's 7 particular circumstances, okay, have I got market structure? Have I got a candle pattern set up? Have I got risk reward right? Have I got et cetera, tick, 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 tick. And if you've got more ticks than crosses, then chances are you need to look at it as a potential order. If you haven't, move on to the next one. And if you cross trading between strategies, you're going to have a hell of a time doing that. But you need a cheat sheet, mate. Whatever method you're using to trade the market at that particular point in time, you need to be able to put it on your monitor, as a written cheat sheet, and go, okay, am I right here? Have I done this? Have I done this? Have I got, etc. As I've just described. So you need to consult whatever rules that you're using frequently until you've got them down pat.
Yeah.
So there's questions.
Very true. And yes, understanding your rules is really, really important, and then making sure that you trade those, and they do become embedded eventually, where you'll just see it and just know that that's the Shukri's in the house. You'll know where that needs to come in. We will get to Shukri, but let me just give you a quick 101 of support and resistance on the higher time frame, so you can trade the hourly. And all the basic rule of thumb is 2 touches is going to be support, or 2 touches is resistance. So try and look for the lows. That's the first thing. There's 2 points of support and resistance. There's the wick and there's the close. Try and look for the lows. Now, if we look at this low here, because we got this here and this here, it would suggest, and this here, it would suggest that there's some resistance there. It would suggest that there's a level there that has been respected in the past. So as long as I've got 2, that one's okay. Then I can go down to the next low, put my line on there. Now this one is good because I've got closing prices here. Closing prices here. So that would be another point that I'd be looking at as a support and resistance level. I'd want to draw down at this low here. And look at that, closing prices here, closing prices here. So that is an obvious bounce point, really. I mean, it could have bounced anywhere along here and it didn't, but this one happened to hold. We don't know which one's going to hold, but we do want to be drawing these in. So that's the first thing that I would do, is just have a look at some open water below you and just draw a trend line in and see. Look, see that one again? Look at that. That looks like a pretty good line. So we're already starting to form a picture of potential points this FTSE could move and change. There's another little one there. Now, if we go to the hourly, I can see the hourly is even cleaner. That shows me there's resistance there. This one's not so good, but this one's pretty good. So I'll probably tidy that up a little bit and get onto my close prices here. I'll probably get rid of this one, maybe even move it down to that point, because that could be a resistance. So now I'm going to use the hourly effectively to tidy up what I did with the daily, and I can sort of like have all these levels. But look at how this is reacting as well. Comes down, reacts in there. So you're just trying to find support and resistance on these different time frames. But yeah, start with the daily, try and find your wicks, and then you can start building into the hourly. Now, when we talk about Fibonacci levels, this is where I find confluence. I wouldn't do fibs straight away, but what I'd want to do with fibs is draw from the top to the bottom of the move. That was the top of the move. There's the bottom move. This is the trending move. So if I bring in a fib and see what levels the fib would suggest. Now you can see, look at that, 38% retracement on the fib. Now that does suggest that this is a strong level now. So So far, this level is winning as the potential point of resistance. All these others don't quite line up with a fib. So just with 2 points of confluence, now obviously we would involve moving averages and pivots and all that sort of thing as well. But just on the fib and the horizontal level, now I've got some confluence. But the last thing that I would do, just to kind of make it relatively clean, along with the pivots, is I'll draw a trend line. And again, I just come down to the low there, draw that up there. What does that suggest? That's not anything that I'm interested in. So we can get, in fact, look at what happened. Look at that trend line and where it turned. So that trend line was was a confluence area, but don't see anything there that I can use today. There's a trend line there. And again, I'm just going to extrapolate across here. There's one there, which I'm going to tidy up to the closing prices. So I've got a little pattern now. I do see a little one here potentially as well. And look, there's a trend line there. Now, if I'm going to get rid of, let me get rid of all the other bits of research that we've done here. And it would suggest that that is a potential target. We got the 38% retracement. We got this little level here. We got a horizontal level there, and we got the trend line there. And finally, you know, these lines are going to disappear. But if we have a look at if there's any support and resistance from the pivots here, then we do see that there's a daily resistance 1 and weekly support 1 here as well. So it does suggest that this is a pretty strong level. Decent point for a target. Does that help, David?
And David, sorry, we won't have time to answer all those questions today, but if you could possibly come in on a Monday or Thursday early would be good. But Monday,
well, we can do it again tomorrow. I mean, we'll have a little bit of time before Ainsley gets in tomorrow. So let's see if we can get to some more of that tomorrow again. So if it's not 100% clear, David, then come in tomorrow and say, can we go through the levels again? And we'll do it at the start of the show again. And if we have to do it every day until you understand it, then that's what we will do. Totally. Quite happy to do that.
Market structure, that's a whole different thing. You can see elephants and call that a market structure. I can anyway. But yeah,
well, should we do that? So let's do that tomorrow, mate. So we'll work on market structure tomorrow. So come in tomorrow morning. If you're not going to be in tomorrow morning, let us know, and we'll save the day for you. But we'll do that as our piece tomorrow. We'll talk about market structure. That'd be fantastic. So Jeff will prepare a half-hour PowerPoint all on that. And,
in my spare time, yeah, that's right.
Spare time. Well, let's get to Shukri. Shukri's in the house, and Shukri, what a flood of news we've got. We've got Ripple, we've got the SEC, we've got Yellen, we've got Jerome Powell, we've got Infinity. What's it called?
Infinity.
What's it called? What's the coin? The gaming coin.
Axie Infinity.
Axie Infinity. There's loads to talk about, mate.
Yeah, and yeah, it's below 29K. So again, I do expect this only to clear up in August.
Yeah.
See how it goes, because there's a lot of still that unwinding going on. But it doesn't matter, because there's only one person who knows what's going to happen. Let's see this person. He nailed it. He nailed it. He nailed it. I think I put it in the group, right, when the price of Bitcoin seemed like it was going to recover. Don't trust the price. And I think I put that in the group. Don't trust the price. Get into stable coins. So I have kind of like, hey, when can we meet again?
So we got
because what he said has come to pass. So okay, probably I'll go. Hey, do you have some good news? If not, let's talk about other things.
Well, do you know, mate, let's talk about stable coins, because Yellen and Jerome Powell, they're going after Tether, right?
Yeah, they're going after Tether and possibly BUSD. Circle is okay, USDC is okay. That is by Circle. It is Coinbase has share in there, and it is going for listing. Circle is already going for listing through a SPAC. So I would say that Circle is also like Coinbase, very much regulated. But it is Tether and BUSD or Binance USD that's a problem. So I just said, right, S&P goes down, Bitcoin goes down, and let's see what happens to the S&P tonight. That is the key.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've had a decent recovery so far today, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you that one of the reasons that we've been drawing down
Why is this?
on the FTSE is oil. Oil has been a big drag. You know, ever since the UAE sort of like have managed to, I think, win the argument, then that really did bring quite a lot of the FTSE 100 stocks down, and obviously some of the biggest stocks in the S&P as well. But today, Royal Dutch Shell up 1.5%, BP up a whopping 2%, which is a big number. So I don't know what's happening. Dead cat bounce, possibly. Is there a slight shift in the tone of the oil conversation? Possibly. Is it that we just haven't had the absolute news yet? Possibly. I don't know, but certainly what we've got is a pretty strong recovery. When I say strong recovery, not price wise, but it looks robust. It looks like this area is going to hold at this stage. The S&P
by oil, right? This thing is led by oil, then the oil sector.
I'm not saying necessarily the whole thing's led by oil, but I do know that the oil story, and you know, you got to wrap COVID into this as well. So that there may well be a bit more supply coming into the market because of the OPEC meeting. And then you've got COVID sort of happening, which means there might well be less demand. So there was a bit of an imbalance going on yesterday, but you know, it was the Monday blues. We're back onto Tuesday, and Tuesday people are reconsidering their positions, not necessarily pushing us back into an uptrend, but they're certainly willing to hold the position here until the next data or wave of news.
But we're following UK, you know, on our cases. They're so bad. I think the government has another strategy, which is good. I mean, screw the numbers. Vaccinate people. Vaccinate as many people as possible. And I think by the end of this month, every adult in the region that I live in, which is the majority of Malaysia's population, the majority of its industrial base, will be vaccinated.
Oh, brilliant. That's
I
good,
don't think it's safer, but it's better than just trying to control these numbers that is not working. Because if you look at the social media here, and you see what's happening in the hospital system, man, you're scared, man. This reminds me of India. So I think the strategy of just vaccinate at will is good. That's even better. And now, guys, if you don't have vaccine, please come to Malaysia. You can walk in, you know.
Yeah, well, you can over here now, mate. I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? That they've effectively got two choices. You lock down and keep everybody off the streets, or you vaccinate, you know, enough of the population to try and get some kind of herd immunity. But I think the Delta variant is the big concern, because the vaccination isn't working quite as well as they'd hoped against that. Certainly over here, but there's a festival going on this weekend that I've been invited to. I mean, everything's open, mate. Everything's open, and there will be crowds of people together. So this thing will spread. You know, and it's just a question of, have they got enough herd immunity for it to be diminished, the effects to be diminished. I think that we're now living with it rather than trying to fight it.
But I support Boris on this, really, and I think in Malaysia we're trying to live with it too, because hey, don't make people depressed. It's bad for the economy.
That's the other thing. Yeah. There's an argument, isn't there, for us to not go into lockdown. I mean, you know, whether Boris's approach is right or not, I've got no question that he's not doing it for people's mental health. He's doing it because he's there going, we got no money.
Yeah, I know.
We better get people back to work. We got no money.
That's the problem.
They all have to go that way, don't they? Because at the end of the day, it's just pick a number. What's an acceptable ratio of people that have and have not had the vaccine before we actually go? That's all that really. That's the only consideration they have at the moment, really.
Yeah, but before I go,
apart from the fact that they're still locking down in Australia.
There's something more important. I feel left out. What mic do you have, Ash and Jeff, or is that a JPEG? Because they look the same.
Oh, what? Yeah, no, we went to the same store, bought the same mic. Yeah.
I haven't got mine right yet because I've still got to reverse.
What brand
I'm still looking in the mirror.
I'm going to join you guys, okay? I mean, Bitcoin is down. Darth Sidious has just answered me when we can talk. Okay. Yeah,
It's the Angel brand, a new line of mic by a company called Angel.
Okay.
She also designs a lighting, like letter lighting as well.
I can remember.
And she can even do it backwards.
She can.
Well, what's happening in crypto now? Again, I am waiting for what Sidious.
We'll have to get you one though, mate. We'll have to get you.
I'm going to join the Angel group now, the Angel fam group.
Yeah, Angel. If you could Skype over Shukri the products, that'd be amazing.
So you look at here like Ethereum, right? See, there's a lot of good cryptos. In fact, once I know that things are okay, I will really go into Ethereum, because.
So
yeah,
can we talk about Aave Infinity, mate? I think that thing sounds it sounds fascinating.
It is because
hang on, sorry. Before we do, have we
Axie
decided
Infinity.
that this is a false break to the downside yet, or is it real?
Only Sidious will know. I think there will be a uptrend. I don't know whether this ends at 28 or 25 or whatever, but we do know at 22, 25, there's a lot of institutionals waiting to come in.
Look for a lower low and buy.
Yeah, come down. I mean, if we could just come down, just get it over and done with. Give us the 20, and then we can all get in again at a nice price and see that in 5 years' time that we're all in a Bahamas somewhere.
That's the real point, because every 4 years there is a chance, and it's a realistic chance. It's not even a chance. It's a realistic chance that if you have enough guts to go in after the Bitcoin halving, you can make $1 million out of 20K to 40K US. That's happened twice already to me. So it's a real chance.
Yes.
So whatever it is, if it doesn't work now, it's going to work in 2024, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. Don't do anything. It's just like that. Yeah. So.
So Axie Infinity, mate. This sounds like a fascinating project.
Yes. There's two parts. There's two parts here. There's two. You have to remember, it is something that is actually useful, because let me take you this. You play a game called Axie, and we'll go to the website. It's called Axie, and it has all these animals here, and you can sell all these animals. But when you play that, you get points from Smooth Love Potion, this. And this is what you can sell. You get Smooth Love Potion as your points. And Smooth Love Potion
sounds really interesting.
It is.
There's a market for that.
Yeah. It's a new sector called play to earn. And it really works. It really works. So in fact, I see a lot of crypto guys also talking about Axie Infinity. Hey guys, we have nothing to do. We're just going to go play Axie Infinity, which is the right thing to do. Which is the right thing to do.
So is this a potential trend, mate, where we see the likes of Fortnite or Roblox and adopting this methodology to kind of?
Yes, I think when Roblox does it, this is going to be big, because look, gaming has been there forever.
Yeah,
there forever, and the company that invented the NFT standard for gaming is actually going for listing in early August. It's called it's part of Engine Group.
It's called who? Sorry,
Engine Group. Engine.
So if we look at Axie Infinity, are we looking at them and saying, okay, these guys are paving the way for something better, so wait, or are we saying actually these guys have got a great product and as almost the first mover, they've got a great chance to grow? I mean, how limited are they?
They are the first, and they will always be the leaders. So anything that looks like this will be good to buy, and just don't do anything, because this is going on a different. This is following something different. Okay, it's getting dumped now, but if you want to buy something, I would buy something like this.
So Engine Coin is the first guys that introduced these NFT for gaming.
Yes, and they came up with a standard. Actually, they invented the NFT standard on crypto. So
wow, really?
Yeah, they came out with it. So this is good. And the company that's going to do it is called Infinity, one of their subsidiaries, and it's going to be listed in early August. So there's a lot of good things in early August. Again, you have to take out the price from the developments in cryptos. The developments, I think, are very, very good. The price is going elsewhere. Like, it's so weird, right? That when, what do you call it? This thing called Ethereum is going down, there are a lot of things that should make it go up. Like, it is now some kind of like, it is deflationary, you know, and yet it's going down. Like, what is that? What is that supposed to mean? That's kind of weird.
Well, that's what markets do, though, don't they, mate? I mean, it's, you know, at this stage, I'm looking at these cryptos and thinking, you know, what's the panic about? I mean, you know, it went up so exponentially that of course it's going to come down in a similar with similar velocity, but it will hold and then it will go sort of back to the upside again. I mean, it's still so young, so it hasn't really kind of calmed down all the volatility that we experience with crypto, but it will do eventually. And I don't really see where the panic is just yet. I still think that there's plenty of room for upside. This looks like an opportunity to me.
As long as they're doing useful thing, I think it's okay. See, where's Axie Infinity? Oh no, it's so busy, right? It's so busy. Many people are buying Axies and all that. But it's really doing the good thing about this. It's really, oh no, this is it. Where's an airplane? One.
You'll love that.
This is an airplane, guys. I don't know what that is. Is that a car or an airplane? I have no idea what it is. Got it wrong.
They give you a game before you even enter the game.
I hate that. I hate that. You
know?
Yeah,
me too.
So I know that they do this because there's a lot of DDoS attacks, right? And no wonder, you know, because people are going here and actually, yeah, this is Axie Infinity. So they
don't worry, eye scans on the way, mate.
Yeah, this is like Roblox for adults, right? So this is why I said, and even if you look at all those, there you can collect all this. Battle, collect, earn. See, you can get your Axies here. There, you can get all this. And some of these, the expensive ones, are like 60,000 US.
Hey,
I don't know what it's used for, but it's definitely something. Yeah,
wow.
That 300 ETH. Oh, maybe it's even, yeah, that I don't know how much the ETH was then, right? But yeah, this you have to remember that this Axie took about 4 years before it happens like it is now. So it does.
Okay, so before it launched, so are there any other type of projects like this on the way, or do we not know? Flow,
with,
okay.
NBA Top Shots, and then the other one is Real Fever with soccer, football.
But is Flow a game?
Flow is Moments Collectibles.
Okay, but is there another game? Because I think the gaming space.
I forgot the name, you know, but yeah, I really forgot that name. There is.
So we haven't had any announcements of any other games. Now actually kind of.
There is one. I forgot the name. The name. But here, let me tell you the types of this. So this is some of the good ones are like this, okay, like play to earn, which is this.
Yeah. Because
this really works, but you know they took a long time, guys. It didn't come out just yesterday. 4 months. It came out in 4 years. The second one is like collectibles, which you guys know. The third one is even more interesting. This is called the metaverse. This is actually like a town, and you buy land in the town. So in here, the big one is Mana. Yeah, the big one is Mana, Decentraland. There's a smaller one called Wild the World, and these are good. So
and these are all to do with Axie Infinity, or these are other side projects?
These are separate. And you look about Mana, guys, even corporates buy land here. Institutions buy land here.
Wow.
In Mana. And you know, when they have things like virtual parties, they don't have virtual parties like Zoom here. You go into Mana and you go into a virtual world.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know, I would go here. But yeah, NFTs look good now. I think there's a real use case.
Yes.
Real use case there. So that is something that's extremely good. On the DeFi side, I think we are having challenges from the regulations. because something that is impacting DeFi will definitely be also impacting stablecoins. But this is something interesting. Okay, DAO is when people come together in a community, because the crypto community is run by the people. Organization, you have tokens, you can vote. So this is interesting. There's something called Sushi Swap. It was a project that was rug pull. Okay, it was really literally rug pull. But then somebody came and saved it, and and the keys were returned. So again, please take note of good projects that have been rug pulled. They usually come back. Now, guess what? A venture capital wants to go into sushi, and they are now negotiating with the community.
Wow.
So that's what I said. On the ground, things are really changing.
Yes, they are. Do you know, mate? This is the thing, isn't it? And I guess if you do some research into this stuff, it doesn't appear like it's going away by any stretch. It's just a moment in time which inevitably it's going to flush people out. But these are the times that, you know, the people that invested at the 60,000 level, just those guys just won't be the types of guys that get in. And they're the guys that kind of get stung when it's up at 60,000. We're the types of guys that get in here and sort of like start looking at going, hold on a minute, this is value. You know, if we think the crypto space isn't going away, and you have to make your own judgment call on that, it is when it looks dangerous and when it looks scary. This is the point that we need to start looking and saying, okay, let's start kind of like easing into this stuff. We don't need to put our house on it. And actually, you don't need leverage. These are the points you don't need leverage. This is the whole discussion about leverage. Now you don't need leverage. You can just go out and buy some stuff.
Don't do silly things. Don't try to be too rich so fast. And let me tell you, there's nowhere else in this world. I'm not sure about the universe. You know, I had to cancel my trip to the moon. Anyway, the VCs. This is the only place in the world where you can get an offer from the VCs. Look at the people who hold the tokens of Sushi Swap. Look at some of those IDOs where you can get in on a private sale at the same level of VCs. Nowhere else, because if you go into Robinhoods of the world, on the IPOs of the world, hey, the VCs have made many, many times the money already. But as can be seen in Sushi Swap here, you probably got the tokens much cheaper than the VCs. You cannot do that anywhere else in the world.
That's true.
Who likes sushi, a guy who understands this, a strong supporter, probably got in at $1, and the VCs want to come in at $8. Where else can you get in this world? Because in the rest of this world, the VC will say FO.
They certainly will. In capital letters.
Capital letters. But here, guess what? The VCs are now negotiating, and these guys are kind of resisting. I say, hey, guys, take the money, guys. Why don't you guys take the money? Just take it. Just take it.
So, of course, the age-old question is, and Ash perfectly right in what he says, that's straight out of the Warren Buffett handbook, by when nobody else is. Same thing.
And you could get something like this. A VC could come in, I want to buy, and then Jeff secretly, okay, I'm going to go back on with the VC. Take.
The question is what? The question is, what the hell do you buy in this world of crypto?
Yes, right.
Because you've just been through about, 5 different complete structures that have absolutely nothing to do, in my book, have absolutely nothing to do with what most people are looking at, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and hang on,
But if I were to do it, I reserve 10K, and we can go in this next week when I get more ideas. I split it into 10 or 20, and I would just buy the good NFT companies and just stick it there for the next 2 or 3 years, because I know this is happening.
Okay, how do they find the good NFT companies?
We can find it, and I'll show you the formula next week. It's not that hard because it's still new.
There you go.
You don't have a lot of crap yet, okay?
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
I've seen a lot of crap.
Yeah.
Some bloke's trying to sell a devil with a head that's got sitting on an island somewhere.
So Shukri, you're not interested in actually the networks at this stage. Then is that because you've got your investment in those?
No, to me, yeah, I am interested at the networks. I just think that they will have more and more competition. But if I can get one or two good defining NFT companies, that's it. That's done.
Yeah.
Okay, so how to do that is next week, right?
Yeah. One more thing, Ash. Even in the worst case of all, okay, like if I invest in a network company, right, I just get DeFi and everything's DeFi, and that's fine. But if I invest in an NFT company, you know what? Worst come to worst, I can mint an NFT here, right? And that is higher probability. That is, at least I know this is where the money is going to. This is where the speculation is going to. So,
right. So are we still talking about like places like Chili's, tokens like Chili's?
Yeah. Chili's, but Chili's is established. You got to find the small Chili's.
Sure.
We don't want
the ones that will be hot.
Yeah, the ones that will be hot. We don't want to buy
the hot ones.
Expensive. What's the next XC?
Yes. Yeah.
An example.
Yeah. Well, this is my point. Yeah, this is my point really. But then, because Axi's there and it's starting to establish, will Axie become like EA Sports, where it starts off just like with some, this game, but then it's got the ability to really scale up and to be a really established gaming company? Because if it is, that to me is an attractive proposition, forgetting the tokenomics, forgetting the fact that it's in the crypto space and the NFT. Have they got the ability to engage people with a new game and new products and better graphics, whatever it is? Have they got the ability to do that? Are they big enough?
They are part of. Oh yeah, good question. They are part of Animoca Brands. Animoca Brands is already a unicorn. Animoca owns Axie.
Right.
Animoca owns Sandbox. Animoca owns Rev. Animoca owns Lim.
Right.
Yeah, but so it's not Axie that's going to do the
Gotcha.
Animoca will do the acquisition.
Is Animoca a stock or is it a token?
No, it's a company, proper company.
It's a company. So we'd be looking at buying their stock if we wanted to have some kind of. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. And if Axie has something, call it Maxi, do whatever, they can always do that thing, right? They can always go approach the DAO and buy the coin. So that's okay too. So, I mean, this is another interesting play that I think that when the bear market comes next year, which it inevitably will, I'm just going to leave some money here and just forget about it and come back 1.5 years later. Doesn't matter to me. If I'm bored, I'll just contact you guys and you can come in and follow me.
Hang on, the bear market on what? On equities?
On cryptos.
On what, sorry?
Crypto.
So we're not in a bear market?
I don't think we are kind of in a bear market, but no, I don't think so. I think this is like 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, the real bear market will come. So I'm not going totally out on the bear market. Yes, I will do like I did now, which I have a big portion of USDC and USDT out. But during that time, I will have a big portion of USDC out, but I won't bring all the money to Malaysia. I will keep some in some of these very, very strategic NFT companies and just leave it there. And most of it will rack, and I'm okay. But I know some are going to come and basically define the new landscape.
Interesting. So to answer whose question was it? Lewis's question. Did we answer that question?
Ada.
Where are you going to put your $100?
I put in Ada because Ada hasn't exploded yet.
There you go. Oh, sorry, you did answer it. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Is that all for you, I think?
Yep. Yeah, so yeah, maybe we should go and so I'm just gonna go and buy my Axis here. This is my favorite site now. I need a kid to teach me this, seriously.
I'm not providing you with one, sorry.
I thought your grandson could help me, Jeff. I mean,
well, he probably could if I had one.
Yeah. Animoca
So-
brands looks interesting.
Right, yeah. So there will be more, how do you say it, Ash? There will be more unicorns like that in the future. The other
Okay.
one is owned by Flo, Dapper Labs. Dapper Labs, Animoca brands. These will be listed on the public stock exchange.
We gotcha.
You just can buy, you know, if you want to go for, yeah, I would rather go to the stock exchange to do that. And
Yeah.
then I would just buy the smaller NFTs. See, if
Yeah.
I want, yeah, you're right, Ash. If you ask me that, if I do not want to buy an XC Infinity token, I'd rather play it. But if I want to be an XC Infinity, I would go for the Animoca brand stock.
Yes. Yeah.
I would also go for the Roblox stock and just wait until it goes to the blockchain. And when Dapper Labs come out, since I am holding some flow, if they do make an offer for a stock, I would also buy that, because I believe Robinhood, which is going for listing, has also offered their users stocks, right?
Right.
Stocks. I hope that eToro does the same thing. So yes, I'm all into those kind of stocks.
Right. Yeah, it looks, it's currently at 18 cents, which is a very attractive price, I have to say. That could pop to $1 without too many problems if it continues to grow in the way. But I don't know. I'll have to look into how this is bought. I've got a feeling it's going to be one of those exotic exchanges that is an absolute pain to try and buy.
And is it Hong Kong? It's a Hong Kong company.
It looks like it might be Australian.
Really?
Yeah, and I've got an Australian badge on my you know, on the thing. I'm on Stockopedia, and I've got an Australian badge on the Animoca brands page. So I don't know.
I'll do my homework too. One of the companies that it bought in is actually Australian. Could be.
It could be, right. Okay. Yeah. So we might be looking at those. Margin of safety. Oh gosh. Okay. Actually, yeah, this looks interesting. I mean, Stockopedia locked quite a lot. So total revenue. Goodness me.
You see this? Let me see. Okay, let me do my homework and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, do your homework on it, mate. But just for a quick rundown, 2014 total revenue was at 1 million. 2015, 7.5 million. So it jumped massively. Wow. 2016, 8.7 million. Dropped down in 2017 to 6.5. Then in 2018, 12.8 million.
That was because of the acquisition of Sandbox. They bought a company.
Okay. But then in 2019, up to 17.8 million. Now, it's only got me up to that particular point, but wouldn't be surprised if this thing, I mean, this would be, for me, this is a much easier area for me to analyze, because I can look through I look through the financials. But if I can get enough data on this stuff.
You know what I'm going to say? It's going to explode this year because of XC Infinity.
Yes, I think you're right, mate. I think you're right. I'm going to see whether this is achievable to buy. But looks like, guys in the room, we are looking to research Animoca brands. So
yeah, let's see it, Ash. I don't know where this is. Let me stop the share here. I'm interested in this too. Yeah, because you want to buy the big parent. I think that's the way to go. I'm not buy XC Infinity crypto. That's too big for me. I want to buy Animoca brand stock.
Well, let me just share my screen, but I think,
man, that mic is nice, guys. I really
you're gonna get one, mate. You're gonna get one. Angel will sort you one out. So here you go. Now this is on Stockopedia. Now at this stage, you know, with Stockopedia, you've got to pay for subscription, and I'm not subscribed, so I haven't got all the numbers, but we can dig into this. We just have to find out. Now here, you see that? There's the Australian badge.
Is it Australian though? There's could be Kiwi, mate. How many stars?
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's very small. The flag's very small.
That's the difference.
Okay, so
New Zealand or British Virgin Islands.
It could be that. Over here, I can go to Company's House, and I can research all the data for free, the financial data for any company. In America, you go to the SEC to get that data. Jeff, this is you, mate. Where in Australia or New Zealand can we go and get the financial data for this company for free? Who do they list with in Australia?
ABS, ABS, yeah.
ABS, okay.
ABS.com.au.
Where is this? And I'm looking at this announcement. You see, they've invested in companies. I see here gaming, and it's going to get listed. Rev is like, oh, they have a lot of properties, you know. Right there. So Olive X, that's cool. It is doing the right things, okay? It's doing the right things. Branded property gaming, yeah. This is the company, man. This is the one that will give Roblox a run for their money.
Try ABR. ABR.
ABR, sorry, mate.
Investors, equity research. Okay.
abrs.gov.uk.
No, it'll be abr.com.au, I think. Might be abr.gov.au, I'm not sure.
Okay, so you'll find that out for us first. and then we'll do some research on this. We could be bungling around there just looking for the site, and then we might find that it's not even listed there. So we need to find where it's listed. You know, we've only just done this for 2 minutes, so I'm sure we'll find out without too many problems. So everybody in the room, trading buddies.
Thanks, Ash. I'm putting money here. I'm definitely putting money here because I know.
Well, let's do some research, mate. So trading buddies job this week is to find out where we can find out for we're going to break down the financial statement of Animoca Brands, but we need to find out where we can get the financial statement from. So everybody, the trading buddies, that is the job for the day or the week.
Yes, it's listed on the National Stock Exchange. I don't know what that is.
No, I don't either, mate. I don't either.
Yeah, have to do guys, awesome session.
All right, fantastic.
Obviously.
We thank you as always, mate. We'll sort you out a studio so you can get in the room with us, and we will just have a quick review of the day then, mate. So we're about to wrap up. Lewis, I did see your post about the Nasdaq. So let me just quickly.
And Shukri, if you need some cash, you need to let me know.
This was yesterday's bar on the Nasdaq here. Go on, sorry, Shukri, you were saying something. He's gone. I get it though, Lewis.
Where are you up to?
Lewis is just talking about a short on the Nasdaq, which I absolutely get.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah, that could definitely come into play. And you know, look what's happening into the FTSE as well. FTSE's just weakened off. It didn't quite touch that level. So we'd want to be looking across the board. Check out the VIX. Nice pop to the upside, but that's starting to ease back down again. I'd want to see the VIX on a level of support before I went short on any equities. So I think the VIX down at around about 2150. Might be a bit more of an interesting point. So make sure you check in all the barometers, Lewis, as well when you're looking at trading the Nasdaq. Not to say that it can't drop down a little bit, but if you're going to get the timing right to get a really good run, then you might want to just check out the VIX and the S&P, and just make sure that there's some just general weakness out there. The Nasdaq is notoriously difficult to short. Anyway, mate, let's do a quick rundown before we finish up.
All right, mate. Two things I was looking at today, and probably if I was to stay in front of the charts, these would be they. I won't be, as always. Well, not as always. At the moment, that's as always. One of them is dollar Swissy, and dollar Swissy is telling me that there's strong potential for this to go south. Now, it's not perfect, but I'm seeing something like this. And that's leading me to believe one of two things. Potentially, you've got a head and shoulders sitting here, but certainly you've got a channel that is suggesting to me that we're headed down to here in the first instance, maybe beyond there. That's the daily chart, and you could even trade that bar if you so chose. I'm not of that opinion because I think there's probably a better entry to be had. It may come with this bar here. This is the 4-hour chart that we're looking at. That's giving me bearish engulfing bar, lower low, lower high. And if this were to be a green body in particular, say it closed about that level, I'd be very interested in placing an order underneath it with the stop loss above it. So trade the bar. First take profit is at, which was really yesterday's low, I think, round about there somewhere, or round about there. I think that would be wise, and you're probably looking to get most of it off the table around about that level, 91.30, something like that. That was one I was really, sorry, mate.
I really like that. Do you know what? I was looking at this is my trade of the week last week, dollar Swiss shorts around about the
It
week.
was.
Pivot.
Yep.
Gone anywhere. I still quite like it.
Yeah, I do too. Looks good to me.
It's problematic though, right? I mean, would that be where you'd be coming out?
The what? Sorry.
The weekly pivot.
Where's that? I haven't got my pivots on this chart.
Oh, the pivot. There's a weekly pivot sitting at 0.91. 0.9171.
Really?
Yeah.
9171.
0.9171. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not even in the market at that. Oh, am I? Am I? Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah, it looks a level, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Certainly does. Yeah, that might be TP1. But I think ultimately I'd like to see it back down here.
Yes.
And then even after that, if this neckline breaks, you could be down here. So I think that's reasonable to have a good look at. The other one is, was it Aussie CAD? Where's my notes? Aussie CAD, Swissy yen, I think, was probably better than Aussie CAD. Yeah. Okay, so Swissy yen does look to be on fire at the moment. That's true. And ultimately, I think I am bullish this pair. But here's the tail of the tape, in my opinion. We've had a range break with, I wanted to close on its high pretty much, but it hasn't done that. And the candle is a bit big. And what I'm advocating here is potentially false break. But the risk to reward now is pretty poor. No, it's not what I wanted to see. Back inside the range and lower high. And the only other one was Aussie CAD, and Aussie CAD for the same reason. This was my range trade of the week if it does set up. It hasn't set up yet, though, and I'm still waiting for it. What I'm looking for, and it may well be that bar there, but I don't want to trade it. I'm looking for price to have come back inside the range, which it has, with that big rejection bar there. And if you look at the daily chart, you know, the top of the range, pick it if you want. I'll put it in for you. You know, we're in here somewhere, right? I won't get it accurately. You could even tighten that up down to here. So we're back inside that range. A lower high here is really interesting for me. Or a false break of that trend line. Either one would suit. And I really don't have a clear lower high for mine. I'd like to see it get back up here a little bit further. And if that were to be the case, a lower high here does interest me off those highs as well. So that's Aussie CAD range trade. And Swissy yen probably lost a bit of interest in that, but certainly dollar Swissy. I think if you get a chance to get into that, and this may well be it, but I want to see a green body on here before I trade it, then I'm happy. Apart from that, everything else we've been through earlier, mate, we've banked a fair bit more money today, and if we get a little bit more luck overnight, we'll bank a bit more tomorrow.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. Lewis, my thoughts on silver. Be careful shorting that FTSE. By the way, I mean this with fully respect, mate. Just not to get a rush of blood to the head and try and dive in too many. You know, let's take our money and regroup if we need to. Because I do think it's going to be tough to short these markets at this stage. I think we might just get caught in a bit of a range now, you know, tight range as well. Silver looks pretty good for a long, but and this is the reason, you know, if we look at silver and where it's at, then we've got this level here, which might well give us some support. And we got this level here. And this looks pretty good. When you look at that, you look at the close, you look at the touch, we're on top of that. So it looks like, and there's a horizontal level along here as well, which would suggest that that might well be a target to bounce up from. So we look like we're in a buy zone. Horizontal level down here as well with these closing prices. So it looks like we're right on top of a buy zone here. I'll check out the fib from this low. It's probably gone beyond. Yep, so that's no good. So no fib, but it is a buy zone. Now, when we look at the hourly, this is starting to look like a double bottom. And if we bring in an indicator here, and we use the RSI, look at the divergence that's going on. So we're starting to see this this starting to climb, and it's back into the kind of the range as well. You know, we're not in the embedded scenario anymore. So we're back in the range here. We got higher lows being created on the momentum, while we've got this double bottom kind of being created here. So this is pretty bullish. This is a fairly bullish signal in this downtrend, and the fact that where we are, this to me would be more of a buy than anything else. And I do quite like it, if I'm honest. You know, stops at the lows would mean that you've got a potential 2 and a bit to 1 as well. So I think there's some room to take some profit here and then see if it goes through. Gold holding on does not suggest that silver's going to break down. You know, and gold yesterday had a pretty good day. Look at gold's bar yesterday. Quite a nice signal there on the bar. So I'd be long gold. Sorry, I'd be long on silver here, mate. That would be my personal stance. I'll be looking for this one to pop back up again into around about the 25.55 level.
Is it a sell there, Ash, do you think?
Yeah, initially that certainly would be my case. Yeah, probably long to go short and see if it did come down. I'd want to keep my eyes on the fundamentals, really. You know, what's really going on. It could go a little bit higher. But yeah, that would probably be my case. In one of these scenarios, I'm not even sure whether a long to go short would be just a bit of a mind meld. You know, I think I probably want to just come out. You know, maybe take something off the table. You know, one thing you could do is play with the fractions a little bit. Take half off as it goes up. And short, short half of the position, so you leave half on effectively to go up, but you are kind of invested in the short just in case it comes down. But then we are starting to talk about you know, really juggling around the finances and moving into a testable kind of strategy and approach that doesn't necessarily exist just yet. So there are a few things you could do here, but I think on the base of it, this looks like a buy zone, and I think there are enough buy signals to suggest that we're going long here. One
of the things that we could do is get out of here, Ash.
I think we should. Yeah, we're well over time.
I've got some pork crackling, sizzling on top of a leg of pork at the moment. So it's coming up,
mate. Let's get back to life.
It's coming up through the air conditioner.
Yeah, let's get back to life. Thank you, John. Thank you guys for being in the room. Thank you to Shukri, as always. Brilliant from him. We will cover some structure tomorrow, Jeff. We have to remember to do that. Maybe Angel,
structure for David.
As you are younger and probably a lot cleverer than Jeff and I, you could remind us to do that in the morning. So yeah, have a great day, guys. Be safe in the market. If you've made money, don't get a rush of blood to the head. Let's make sure that we protect our income. Remember, we are defenders of finance, and we can then be aggressors after that. But let's defend our accounts. Stay safe, guys. Thank you so much, Angel, for looking after us. Thank you to you, mate, for being my trading buddy. And I will see you in the morning. Same trade time, same trade channel.
Cheers, trading buddies. Have a good one.